This video is either an introduction or review to the concept of rounding. Either way, it's a tutorial that will demonstrate how to round to the nearest 10 and 100 and why rounding is so important in our daily lives. Let's think about this scenario. You and 3 of your friends go to a pizza parlor where the bill comes out to $36.73. To divide it amongst 4 people would have to take quite a lot of mental power or a calculator. So this is where the skill of rounding comes into play. $36.73 is approximately $40. When you divide that amongst 4 people, you've made it a lot more easy and convenient for everyone to pitch in $10. In math, we can use a visual representation of rounding by using a vertical number line. A vertical number line looks just like a regular number line, except we turned our papers vertically, right? So let's use the number from the example 36. If I want to round 36 to the nearest 10, I'm going to put the 2 tens that 36 lies in between on my number line. Those tens are 30 and 40. When we have a vertical number line, we can also identify the midway point. The number in between 30 and 40 is 35. If I were to put 36 on this number line, I may just make it a notch higher than 35. So we can clearly see on this number line that 36 would round to 40 rather than 30 because it's so much closer. To write this in numerical terms, you would say 36 is approximately 40. Notice how I put this squiggly equal sign instead of a regular equal sign. 36 is not equal to 40. This squiggly equal sign is approximate. It means approximate. So 36 is about 40. We use the words about, approximately, or estimate when rounding. Let's use another 2-digit number. I want to round 72 to the nearest tens place, right? So I'm going to put 72 on this number line, but I'm going to make sure that I put the tens that it's in between on the top and the bottom. The 2 tens that lie between the top and the bottom of 72 is 70 and 80. Like the last one, I'll identify my midway point, which is about right there. And that is 75. And when I place 72 on the number line, I can put 72 about right here. This 75 makes it really easy for me to identify where this number goes on the number line. So in this example, 72 is closer to 70 rather than 80. We can say in this number sentence that 72 is approximately 70. Let's work on rounding to the nearest hundreds. We can still use a vertical number line. And in this example, I want to round 124 to the nearest 100. So first, I will identify the 2 hundreds that 124 is in between. Those 2 numbers are 100 and 200. On this number line, I'll identify my midway point as being 150. And this 150 makes it easy for me to locate where 125 would be. 124. So 124 would be about in the middle of 150 and 100. Looking at this representation, I can see that 124 is closer to 100. So my approximation would be that 124 is about 100. Let's do one more example of rounding to hundredths where it rounds up this time. I'm creating my vertical number line again, and I want to round 264 to the nearest hundreds. Nearest hundred. So identify the 100 that goes below 264 and the 100 that goes above 264. That's 200 and 300. Then I identify my midway point, which is 250. That number makes it a lot easier for me to identify where 264 goes on the number line, which is about right here. So you can ask yourself, does 264 round, is it closer to 200 or is it closer to 300 on this number line? Well, we've just proven here with our vertical number line that 264 is approximately 300. Now let's think about a scenario where you're rounding a number that goes directly on the middle part of our vertical number line. Say for instance the number 25. If I want to round this number to the nearest 10, I'll make my markings of 20 and 30. These are the two 10s that 25 goes in between. 25 is a number that goes directly in between 20 and 30. So there's a rule in rounding that if the number you're trying to round has a 5 right beside it, it rounds up. So in this rounding rule, 25 is approximately 30. Let's think about a 3-digit number. If I want to round the number 350 to the nearest 100, I'll place my hundreds on the top and bottom of my number line, like so. 400 goes up top, and 300 goes down on the bottom. We know that 350 goes directly in the middle of 400 and 300. So, using our rounding rule, we know that 350 automatically rounds to 400. 350 is approximately 400. If you encounter a number like 349, which is one notch below 350, this number automatically rounds down to 300.